So, now it's time for chapter 1 of the Inquest saga, guys. Yep, uploaded right after my first video. Oh, goody goody for you. Well, no point in waiting, time to begin. Chapter 1, Book 1, The Inquest Saga, Elra, The Nightmare That Never Ends. The nightmare began the way it always did, with the darkness. A darkness that may at first could be taken for common sleeping, or perhaps the build-up that we all have towards a good dream. However, it soon became clear that this was not the case. First she would feel nothing at all. It was peaceful, tranquil, and just as she built up the hope that she would get a sleep, suddenly there would be a sensation, a terrifying sensation that everybody knows, though no one likes. It is the feeling of falling. Then, as she fell, the sinister silence that surrounded this area would break into a laughter. Not the joyous laughter, though, that you hear after a good joke, or a nervous laughter that you hear at a wedding. Rather a manic cackle, the type that an insane villain would give in an old tale that a mother would tell. This was all that often went on during these dreams, but this night, something was different. Something was wrong. As she began to fall, as she began to feel the terror, she was then began to wonder something. There was no laugh, just silence, but this time it was replaced by regular speech. "Oh, hello there, my dear," said the voice. "Why, you've been listening in on my cackles, haven't you, you naughty little girl? Well, I suppose if I'm poking around in here, I might as well get to introduce myself. I am Chaos." "Oh, you don't know who I am, do you? Well, boo-hoo for you, then. All I'm here to do is to tell you this one thing. I'm going to tell you something very, very secret. Something that your precious little teacher doesn't want you to know about. And something that she'll never tell you. Do you want to know?" "Oh, I know you do." After hearing what this mysterious figure had to say, Elra was intrigued by what he meant, even though, if it meant that it would harm her teacher, she would never betray her mistress. And besides, even if he wanted her to confirm this, she could not, as in dreams, she could not speak. She had tried this once, though, during a particularly bad nightmare a couple of days before. She had attempted to scream while falling, but did not make a single sound. "Oh, you're trying to hide things from me. Yes, clearly. Go on, try it. See how well it ends. I want you just to know that I can read your thoughts. I know, it's cheating, but boo-hoo. Besides, I don't really need you to give any clarification, and I do hate getting permission from you people. You're also, I won't tell you anything. You'd have to torture me. Blah, 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 blah." Elra then grew annoyed at her own thoughts. She had betrayed her teacher because of her sheer curiosity, and the fact that, however, though, she did not know this was a mind reader, so she didn't take it very hard herself. "Okay, so I suppose you'd want to know what this terrifying little secret is that I've got hidden up inside. Well, I would tell you, but I find conversation long and drab and boring. In fact, the only reason why I'm doing this is to get on a certain someone's nerves. And I think you know who it is, so I'll just show you." Then all of a sudden an image began to form. A beautiful image. It was the image of a garden, but not just any garden, not the type that you would find in, let's say, a park or in an average citizen's house. Rather, this was a palace garden. Beautiful, with huge trees and cherry blossom, with beautiful grassland that was all evenly cut and huge rose bushes. There were also plenty of tiny little stone paths that ran so people could take in the scenery as they walked. It was then across one of these such paths that a figure walked, a young man. He was well dressed by anyone's standards. He wore a waistcoat, and the general design on it was brilliant. He also wore stockings, trousers, and long black boots that went up to his knees. As he walked, though, he ran. There was nothing. He wasn't trying to take in the scenery, but he seemed scared. He was looking for someone. Elra could tell that much. As he ran, though, he began talking to himself. Where are you? I need to find you. Oh, oh dear gods, please tell me she is safe. Oh, I guess this is our first character. Well, he's only one of two characters, so I suppose it's a good thing that one of them showed up anyway. Oh, I suppose you're wondering also, why are you showing me this bloody bloody blah usual hero speak? Well, if you must know... Oh wait, I already told you. Never mind. I just enjoy messing with people. As he ran across the garden, though, he quickly ran into someone. The two of them collided with a quick thud. About them, the man quickly picked himself up, and when he noticed who he had run into, a smile went across his lips. Lunera! Oh, my love, are you all right? I'm fine, Sombra, she said. Ooh, now things are getting interesting, said the voice. I can tell who this is going to be good, and you're clearly intrigued by it. As much as Elra hated to admit it, she found this to be interesting, even though she was terrified of this figure, but the image didn't seem to be terrifying or nightmarish. In fact, compared to her usual nightmares, this was oddly calming. It's as if the figure had decided to take away some pain, and for a while at least she would be thankful for it. The two figures then sat down on a bench together. The young man who was called Sombra, and the young girl called Lunera. On the bench they quickly hugged each other, and then Sombra spoke. My dear, I thought you were lost. I was worried that you had been caught. Do not worry about me, Sombra. The guards would let me through. That still does not mean I am not allowed to worry about you, my love. Love. Elra knew the word. Everyone did. But the fact that these two were lovers generally meant something was happening, and although she could not see the voice, she could tell that whoever he was somewhat satisfied. Oh yes, you managed to pick up on my positivity. Well, actually, that's pretty good. You should be proud of yourself. However, though, what I'm going to show you next will show you why I'm oh so positive. As the two lovers sat, Elra began to feel some sort of nervous energy. She could tell that the figure was waiting for something bad to happen to the two of them. Then all of a sudden a voice cracked on. You are there! I can tell you are there! There's no point in trying to hide. It's your sister, said Sombra. Quick, we can't be seen together, go. But Sombra, I will not leave you. Lunera, I know it is terrible, but we must part ways, at least for this night. If your sister catches us, I do not know what will happen. All right, my Sombra, but please be careful. I will, my love. Suddenly the image cut out, and she was left with the voice. Oh, wasn't that interesting? So nerve-fying, so dreadfully good. Well, as you probably know, this is where I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger for no purpose whatsoever. Don't worry, though. I'll be back tomorrow. All you need to know is, love splits, time breaks, war comes, and demons wake. Elra had no idea what the hell that was supposed to mean, and how could anyone? The demon just spoke into some sort of riddle that didn't rhyme, the kind of effort a child would make with a poem. But then all of a sudden she began to feel herself waking, and then, just as the questions began to pop into her head, she awoke.